Hello there, Site 42 staff, and welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the last 11 and a half months and counting, because the daily stream streak must remain strong, I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for the next approximately 50 minutes, just shy of an hour today, Site 42 staff. But before I begin with standard Q&A, let me start with some housekeeping. Lone Claw, otherwise known as Dr. Vera Lovelace. Welcome to today's stream, thank you for being here, and congratulations on being the most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Meanwhile, alongside you, Feroy, Titanborn, Black Phoenix, Kilbur, Terragal, Legendary Doge. Everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being members of Site 42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, Troll Astrum, Purposely Cringe, It Giraffe, Dr. Freesh, Jessica Fletcher, and Doc Watson Lulz. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here punctually. And thank you for being here today, just for being you. Intern Fun Time, thank you for sending us a GOAT trophy during the welcomes. I am sure that the Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e. chat, feels very goated today, I think is the term. At least like an invisible, psychedelic rainbow-colored goat that belongs to a friendly chap over in the containment wing. Also, intern Ryan Mehta, welcome to today's stream, and thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a waffle on your way past the commissary. What are your opinions of the entity known as AZFK borrowing data from you and putting it onto the human internet? We are constantly in a battle with that particular entity. The Artificial Intelligence Applications Division of the Foundation has several artificial intelligence constructs, otherwise known as AICs, at work taking down the information that the AZFK entity is putting out there. Of course, there's also the continual disinformation campaign that this is all just a creative writing and fan fiction site that usually keeps the public mollified. Dr. Vera Lovelace, Thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a chocolate-covered strawberry on your way past the commissary. Since you failed to provide me with 5 non-diabetic strawberry-enjoying D-class personnel, I decided to help myself. No, you will not get them back. You do realize it is a minor infraction to misapply the resource of D-class personnel. I will review your testing proposal and then award you the D-class. You do not get to simply take resources. There will be disciplinary action taken. Submit your test proposal. That is the protocol. You know how we at the Foundation enjoy protocol, after all. Orange Cloud, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a parfait, because everybody likes parfait, on your way past the commissary. Hey boss, how's it been? Hopefully not too many SCP-72 9-Js. I like the trying to censor it. I appreciate the attempt. But it's the concept of being reminded that that abomination exists that caused the deleterious effect on my nervous system. So, coded language only goes so far to protect you from that, as with any mimetic hazard. But I appreciate the attempt. So, thankfully, that thing has been present at less streams as of late. Although a recent stream did go the entire time without it arriving, until the very last donation of the stream. That was rude. If that was you, that was a rude thing to do. Intern Cooper, welcome to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to staff here at Site 42. Senor, can I just say, holy hell, we have enough for religion standards. SCP sympathizer? Not a word. I'm not quite sure I understand your message. If you could elaborate for me. What do we have enough of for religion standards? I am confused. The Serpent's Hand has enough members. That's what you meant. Well, the Serpent's Hand has enough members in that any members it has is too much for my liking. Those snakes are always trying to, free all the anomalies, man, like hippies. Meanwhile, if we let them do as they like, then the humanity as a whole would evolve into the anomalies in a way that we wouldn't even recognize humanity in the future they want. I prefer normalcy the way it is, thank you. Hello, very excitable child. Did you grow overnight? Why do you feel bulkier?
She's been doing runs up and down the stairs.
She's getting haunches. Strong. So yes, as you can see, Puppy of Interest 42 has come to play. Charlie, the chat says hello. The chat has also gifted you one allotted delightful treat to be deposited now. There you go, baby girl. Agent Charlemagne is also here, but for what, we don't know.
He heard you were giving out treats.
He heard I was giving out treats. So I would assume that Agent Charlemagne wants a bribe as well. Perhaps not. Perhaps we are not interested in this treat. Oh, you almost got it. Bite better. There you go. You did it. Okay, babies, flee. So yes, our trip to the super cool petting zoo is complete for the day. I say complete knowing that the puppy of interest will come back to bother us again and again because she loves you guys as well as attention and treats. All of the above, really. Okay. Where was I in the chat? This is not refreshing. Let me fix that. Love the reliability of technology. Not. The hand spider what? Well, the hand spider did not come on this tour from the Super Cool Petting Zoo, but perhaps if you head to the Super Cool Petting Zoo, you can visit the floating hand spider, provided you bring the allotment of amethyst that will protect your face from being eaten. It's a fair deal at the end of the day. Intern Bunny the Jester, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a popped tart on your way past the commissary. And since you did not send a message with your donation, simply thank you for your generosity today. The hand spider got out. Well, I warned you about the amethyst, didn't I? All right. Well, head over to the geology division, get yourself some amethyst, and bait it back into the Super Cool Petting Zoo pronto. Get on it. Intern Ryan Mehta, thank you for donating again to say, what are your thoughts on Azfik stealing drugs? Are you accusing this Azfik of a crime right now? And is it a legal crime in the public, where the government's problem, or is it a crime against the Foundation where it's our problem? I'm not certain if this is an issue or not. This is starting to sound like a real-life problem. And after the situation with researcher Langdon stealing drugs, I'm a little touchy on the subject right now. Dr. Sherman, I'm still awaiting a response to my petition to attempt usage of SCP-113 and curiosity of what it will do to me. Well, Researcher Freesh, you simply need to wait out the application process with human resources. I'm sure they're going to have you talk to the on-site therapist a few times, especially since you seem to be doing this not for therapeutic dysmorphic reasons, but just for what the hell, why not reasons. Usually those are a little more restrictive because, again, the more you use the gender switching stone, the higher a % chance of death is. So we don't want you reusing SCP-113 willied-nillied. You need to make sure that you mean it, and that what you get, you're happy with what you get. You get it? Good. Intern Alex, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Dewison, thank you for your 2 months as a Mobile Task Force captain here at Site42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Who wins this fight? An army full of SCP-3199s, codenamed Human Refuted, and 939s with many voices. It's a pretty powerful team, if only because the 3199s are incredibly durable. Or an army full of 2419 Laughing Men and 1788, the adults. Well, part of my problem is that those latter two I am not so familiar with, so I'm going to have to make a database jump to see what I find. The Laughing Men, a refinery and waste disposal facility 75 kilometers north of Summer Springs, Colorado. Constructed in 1954 for handling incineration, long-term storage of hazardous waste. What are the laughing men capable of? Well, they're severely burned, incinerated. That puts them kind of on par with the 3199s. Let's see what the 1788s are. The 3199s, unfortunately, have very high defense and offense, though, especially with the acid they vomit. So they are a pretty formidable foe. I don't really think they need the 939s for this fight. And then the adults, predatory behavior toward prepubescent humans. So they wouldn't even fight against dogs and chicken men. So, easily put, the 3199s are taking this without the 939's assistance. That's just a one-sided battle. It is something that would assist me as an individual who is trans, but I am also comfortable as I am now and thus more interested in the experience. The results would be mere additional benefits. Okay, so in that case, once again, this is more important for you to tell the on-site therapist and human resources than me, but once all of your paperwork's in a row, the SCP-113 is currently at, let me check the database, SCP-113, the gender-switching stone, is at Site 67 right now. I don't want to hear it. So yes, we should be seeing SCP-113 again in about 1 month. So, about a month from now, Site 42 will get access to SCP-113 again, and that will give you the opportunity to utilize it for your purposes. Just handle the paperwork before then. Let me grab this real quick. Intern Dumb Person, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, and thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi, which only takes 3% of your donation, whereas YouTube Super Chats take a third of your donation. So we appreciate you making the effort. Grab yourself a tuna casserole on your way past the commissary. This is a site-wide announcement. Stop walking into 895's chamber while wearing night vision goggles. It will take over the goggles and then kill you. In other news, we have installed the new turrets that don't malfunction. Well, all of this seems like very useful site announcements. Good work. Keep it up. Intern Alex, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a fruit salad yummy yummy on your way past the commissary. How the Foundation contained TF2 server blight. Well, the thing is, it's a video game on a server. We put the server in a Faraday cage which blocks signals from leaving, and we leave the server there. It's contained. Love that for us. Black Phoenix, thank you for your 6 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Happy to be working with the Foundation for 6 months. Bravo, brava, bravissimo, bravissima. Fantastique. I don't know what to doodle, might draw a George. Intern Jens, please do not bring anomalies to life in uncontained scenarios. Everyone is familiar with SCP-3086's properties. You're not fooling anybody. Don't. Skywarp, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a ice-cool glass of melonade on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. For information, Asvik is a higher dimensional being, so Foundation issue, yes. Also, the site is getting a budget cut. Okay, first of all, we do know a higher dimensional being thing and the whole stealing information thing. Those are annoying, and we are working on those. I was questioning if the stealing drugs thing is a Foundation issue or an outside Foundation issue. That is where I'm having confusion on that. Meanwhile, come on. We are doing our best here to secure, contain, and protect. We do not need less budget right now. It's been a mess around these parts, and we need the resources to clean things up. Intern Otter, thank you for sending sparkles and a chili to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure that they will feel sparkly and fabulous while enjoying the wings of doom on your way past the comet, due to your urging. But it's my favorite blue fatherless chinchilla, sir. So, how can you call it fatherless when it clearly does nothing except talk about its dad? That is all George the Chinchilla talks about. What do you mean? Charlie 10 Pro, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a handful of marshmallows on your way past the commissary. Hi, how has your day been today? Well, it has been so far a little tired, a little frustrating with the overseers cutting our budget again. But we're still celebrating the victory of SCP Galleonic's meteoric success in their Kickstarter from yesterday. And so we can hold the ground on the status of victory and strength right now. $369 Destroyer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a large pizza on your way past the commissary. In my superhero story, if all goes well, I'm hoping to make the superhero team, the Paladins, a new official group of interest composed of anomalous vigilantes, but we'll see what happens. An interesting challenge. I do believe then your challenge there is number one, to make your story successful, but two, to inspire people to continue to write in that universe with those characters. So you're going to want to make sure you have very interesting character interactions, and you can really distinctly tell their personalities in a manner that makes people interested in playing with those action figures, so to speak. Because I do believe a group of interest requires 5 articles by 3 authors, is it? If DJ were here, DJ would correct me on this. Groups of interest. Scrolling down. Five positively rated articles with at least 3 authors contributing. But it is recommended you get 10 articles by 5 authors. So there's a minimum and then there's a recommended. Good to know. So yes, good luck making your story successful, and hopefully it does inspire. Black Phoenix, thank you for donating again, I believe. And thank you for taking the effort to go to the Ko-Fi this time. No, this is your first donation of today's stream. The other was a member message. So thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Thank you for making the effort to go to the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself some ambrosia salad on your way past the commissary. And you said Greetings, Dr. Sherman. My apologies for missing our last few streams. We had to get the property ready for the summer. I hope everyone is having an amazing spring so far. Glory to the Foundation. Well, that is all right. We have been a busy season, but I am glad to see that you're back, and I hope you've been doing well and that your work has been fruitful. We are certainly doing our best here to keep up things as we ramp up into the busy season. For some reason, the heat just makes things a little bit crazier in the world. It makes all the staff a little crazier, too. In the winter, things are a little quieter, a little calmer, and that's nice for a time. Dr. Lovelace, thank you for donating again, and thank you for going to the Ko-Fi this time. I need to question and possibly eradicate a couple of souls that have passed on to hell. Normally I'd bring this thing to tactical theology, but I think of just asking Primrose to help me on this one. What do you think? Question and eradicate a couple of souls that are in hell currently. My caveat to this question is, are the souls civilian, from a rival group of interest? Are they Foundation staff members? Because the level of care I would take in summoning a soul from hell to this plane to interrogate them would be different depending on how much we care about whether they how they ended up there. Dr. Lovelace, you say Foundation staff members, so okay. Just because they're in hell doesn't mean that they are traitors to the Foundation. Let's just say, if you work for the Foundation and you do the work we do, the odds of getting to a heaven are a little slim. Remember, the Foundation is not always the good guys. So, with that in mind, we still reward loyalty to the Foundation. So, yes, I would recommend TAC Theo then, because they can be a little more careful in not shedding the soul bonds as they pull them up from hell. So, because they are Foundation staff members, I would rather do this by TAC Theo's book. Dumb person, thank you for donating again to say, how would you contain something wicked from Ultrakill if it left hell? In other announcements, 4680, Grigory Rasputin has breached. Mobile Task Force Unit Epsilon 11 has been deployed to deal with 106, who has breached as well. Please stay in the shelter until they finish their job. Over. It's a busy day. Well, let's contain those breaches, obviously. That's our whole job. But what are you telling me about this something wicked? I'm not familiar with that Ultra Kill entity. Something wicked is a humanoid creature comprised of withered and rotting veins, arteries, and nerves, dead heart, connecting all of them similar to that of Prime Soul. It towers over V1, being nearly twice as tall, and has a noticeable red-crimson glow in close proximity. Teleports when hit. That sounds extremely frustrating. I would recommend a false labyrinth scenario. What we do is we put these skulls it seems to be protecting inside a labyrinth where it thinks it is guarding the skulls from being picked up, while what is actually happening is we are keeping people out so those skulls never get picked up. Therefore, they would, the entity would stay guarding what it guards, and we would not have a problem with it trying to get out. That seems about the best scenario we could ask for there. Intern Taylor, you're asking for my favorite SCPs. I traditionally say those at the end of stream. It's kind of a tradition around these parts. But if you want to get me to say them earlier, you could always donate, or you could skip to yesterday's stream's ending, because I said it there too. Otherwise, today's stream is ending in about 20-ish minutes. So if you can wait 20 minutes, you'll hear it at the end. Will you be acting in the Containment Breach movie? Well, Intern Skelly, they have said they would enjoy a cameo from me. I would like to get on set if they would have me. So it all depends on what happens when they raise their budget and if we can make the timing and the scheduling work. I'd be excited to be aboard. All right, let's refresh here, make sure we're clear on what's going on. That looks good. Intern Gamer Alex, thank you for donating again to say, if let's say our Malaysian facility, someone managed to create an SCP and went rogue, what do I do? Definitely a hypothetical. Well, it doesn't matter which facility because the protocols are the same. First of all, creating an SCP, you got to be real careful with that research because I am immediately annoyed when there's more anomalies we have to contain. More anomalies to contain means more resources. More resources cost money. And the budget, as you have heard, has been slashed recently. So, I'm already mad at you. Furthermore, any containment breach needs to be contained. So the question is, are you saying the SCP went rogue or its creator went rogue after creating the SCP? Furthermore, Gamer Alex, so I know the situation in hand. Either way, contain whatever mess there is so it doesn't cause a breach. $100 stars. Thank you for sending some sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they feel fabulous. Kilber, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some French fries on your way past the commissary. Speaking of a mess, the thing that crawled out of my anomalous king and yellow copy yesterday is gone. I left it with the guards for 5 minutes. You mean the big thing that was beating on the walls and making a big racket? The very dangerous anomaly that came out of the book? Great. Well, I guess you've got some hunting to do. Please investigate and find where that thing is. Intern Person, thank you for sending sunshine to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will cop a wicked tan thanks to your generosity. Dr. Dewison, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Frito chili pie on your way past the commissary. As the Foundation attempted to study why SCP-343 is so useless, it could have helped prevent so many things but doesn't and claims to be so powerful. Oh, trust me, that is a whole wing of study is why, if so powerful, if so benevolent, why not help? I mean, it always says, oh, a father can't do everything for its children. And I say that's bullshit, and you are not God, you old coot. Intern Person, thank you for sending a clucket to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure that they will be wisely clocking more things thanks to your generosity. SCP-682 versus the Gate Guardian. You get 682 close enough to the Gate Guardian for that. Best of luck to you. Researcher Wispbug, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Someone said coffee. Grab yourself some coffee on the commissary. It's coffee break time. Commissar Pfeiffer, thank you for your 9 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. I'm here to say hello and I'm alive, I think. Well, considering how things have been going today breach-wise, count yourself lucky for the whole living thing. Good to see you up and at 'em. Skywarp, thank you for donating again to say. Azfik stole them from the Foundation. The budget cut will only affect safe class SCPs, and there will be a food party for compensation every 2 months. You've got to be really careful, everyone. Listen. You got to be really careful when someone tries to offer you benefits as opposed to pay for your work. Okay? for artists, don't work for exposure. Get paid for your work, value your work. But I will never forget, it is burned in my memory, the disappointment where I'm sitting here in a class at Academy, and the director says, okay, we can pay you, let's say, a monthly salary of X, or we can subtract that salary by a small amount, but give you this valuable object in return. And you're like, okay, well, if I give a little bit of my money back, but I get valuable object, then isn't that better? Won't that be more worth in the long run? And then when you answer, they turn around and tell you, it was a trick. Valuable object, we can make that for free. We're actually paying you less, and it's not actually valuable. You've been had. Watch out. They are always trying to get your lucky charms. So make sure you do your research when such benefits such as pizza parties are offered. What kind of pizza are they getting? Are they getting good pizza? Or are they getting bottom of the barrel, super cheap pizza that probably makes you hungrier when you eat it somehow? Suffice it to say, also, if that entity stole drugs from the Foundation, then we need those drugs for our research. So get them back, please. Intern Cranfella, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Error Code, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a quiche on your way past the commissary, but only if you are responsible enough to care for it. Dr. Sherman, my powers have accidentally erased 682's real form. It's just a lizard in my universe now. Does this count as neutralization? Well, you'll have to see what happens if you destroy your lizard. Will it stay gone? Or will it somehow pull itself back from the brink of extinction? Like it always does. Don't count your lizards before they're squashed. I just watched some of your videos and now I have a bunch of questions. Well, intern Gabriel the Archangel, I hope I have the answers for you. Commissar Pfeiffer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a ham and cheese croissant on your way past the commissary. Hey, boss, want to say hey and wish you guys the best. Well, good to see you. I hope you're doing well as well. Take care. These are troubled times, but we at the Foundation will persevere. Our victory is assured by our stalwart move forwardness. .369 Destroyer, thank you for donating again to say, RLE update. Now we have more work to do, but we developed a new version made specifically for traps. Lower battery life, but more portable. Interesting. I'm imagining the Ghostbusters trap, which is a vacuum, essentially, that brings in the things. But now you're talking about a trap like a liminator, where you can throw it. But temporary battery life means that the lack rooms will only last for a while, after which liminality will cease, or be restored, so to speak. The lack of liminality will cease. And so once it's restored, they are free. So the question is, I guess that's more of a delaying tactic than a permanent containment, I would assume. Honestly, it sounds like a temporary containment cell that can't be moved. So it's probably going to need some updates to make sure that it works. You know that knife SCP that can just destroy anything it stabs from existence? What if we stab 682 from it? Gabriel the Archangel, that is actually one of the more creative SCP-682 termination ideas that I have heard in a while. Good thinking. Let's see if that knife, which I believe the red knife is SCP-3043. No, it's not. That's Murphy Law. SCP, the red knife. 3041. 3041, that's why it was a close number. So we go over to the experiment log and we search for 3041. Interesting. 3041 has not been tested against SCP-682. Now, let's take a moment to think here. The challenge of writing an SCP-682 termination log is not the act of trying to destroy 682. That's the prompt. The game that you play is figuring out how 682 survives it. And so I ask you to be creative for a moment here. The red knife is an anti-mimetic knife that erases the entity from memory, from records of the people who are still alive. You also end up, whoever uses the knife to kill a person or entity with it, ends up eating their heart in the delirium of the act. So, anti-mimetic knife, killing, eating heart, how would that fail, is my question for you. I'm going to answer a couple more super chats while you guys think it over, and I'll look in the chat to see what you guys are saying about that test, to see why it would fail. 369 Destroyer, hold on. Already read my mind for one of the ones I would use, which is SCP-682 is recorded as being successfully terminated while escaping using its new anti-mimetic properties. So yeah, you use the knife on it, now it's forgotten by everyone, which means it can do whatever it wants. The only thing I would change is that it's not recorded as being terminated, we just would lose records of it. We would not know there was an SCP-682 anymore. And it would be running around killing people scot-free. Well, shit. Yes, see, that is accurate. Intern Evan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a tuna tartare on your way past the commissary. One day the Foundation will have to answer for its actions and God will not be so merciful. Well, which God it is, whichever God it is, it can wait in line. We've got normalcy to maintain. Priorities. Zachinator, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a creme puff on your way past the commissary. What do you think of Allied Master Computer? He terrifies me. Well, because the Allied Master Computer is not real, scares me less than the things I have to deal with on a daily basis. I mean, if we gave SCP-079 its way, it would eventually become Allied Master Computer. So all y'all who want to be friends with it and try and play with it, no. It does want to kill you. Stop. But furthermore, let's just prevent the Torment Nexus from being built. Too many Prometheus Labs, Anderson Robotics, Arcadia, too many anomalous tech companies out there trying to make anomalous AIs, robots, video games. Let's just keep containing them so we don't build the Torment Nexus. That's my favorite version. Blue Phantom, thank you for donating again to say, morning, how's your day? You, Desk, and Charlie. Well, my desk is going, my day is going well. My desk is fine. The desk of Alto Clef is asleep or something like that. Might Kool-Aid man through the wall any minute now. And Puppy of Interest 42, Charlie, is doing quite well today. Researcher Wispbug, thank you for donating again to say, what are your opinions on the theory that SCP-343 is actually Loki from the Norse contingent? I haven't heard that theory. Honestly, I just think, 343 certainly has the narcissism of a Loki. But I do declare, not for the pun, but 343's mischief seems to be rather low-key in comparison to Loki's. Now, don't we have Loki in containment? SCP Loki. 1848. SCP 1848 claimed to be Loki, as well as many other aliases, including Raven, Coyote, Hermes, Anansi, Sassi, John F. Kennedy, and Jesus Christ. Does SCP 1848 qualify as another Jesus in containment? Is this the seventh Jesus? I might go as far to say possibly not, because it is highly possible this entity is just lying. Possible, but high likelihood of lying considering how it keeps picking mischievous aliases. I do declare 1848 not a Jesus. I'm going with not a Jesus. Gamer Alex, thank you for donating again to say, all right, the SCP seems chill, but the creator is joining the Chaos Insurgency. Traitorous bastard. Well, at least he tried. His info is being sent straight to the RHM to 05. Yes, let's get this sorted and begin hunting for the traitor ASAP. By the way, Site42 staff, just a warning and a time check. We are currently 5 minutes from the end of stream. I've got donations to catch up on. I will try to get to them all. Hopefully I don't have to push any to tomorrow. Evan, thank you for donating again to say, speaking of pizza, thoughts on 458? Delicious. I can't wait until the next time it's in the commissary. Huge pizza fan myself. Skywarp, thank you for donating again to say, only the best chefs with the best food for you. Well, that is the commissary I built, which is why we need the budget we have. So we can have the best chefs with anything you could possibly want to eat. That's why we have the budget allotment for good food. You need good food for happy staff. Dr. Lovelace, thank you for donating again to say, regarding the 5D class I took, I have some bad news and a snack for you. How apropos to realize that delivering bad news with a tasty treat is a fine way to soften the blow. Your psychological tricks are apparent. Living Scarecrow, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a strawberry milkshake on your way past the commissary. That's funny about the SCP getting their just deserved, and may God have mercy, chat. When God is in the SCP, isn't it on your side? Most of the gods we contain, so-called gods, are powerful enough that we have to convince them to stay willingly one way or another. But that doesn't mean they help us. It means we don't piss them off so they don't smite us and leave. What is your favorite SCP? Sebastian. I always say my favorite SCPs at the end of stream. It's tradition. We are 3 minutes from the end of stream, so almost there. Emphasis on the straw in strawberry. Caught that, did you, Gabe? Good work. Error code, thank you for donating again to say, it just picked up a gun and shot itself? Interesting. Maybe it was doing what I said so it could reconstitute faster. Gotta be careful with that. How do you spell the name of the director of the other Site-42? I don't remember Director Desai's first name, actually, but Director Desai's last name is D-E-S-A-I. Desai. If you want to look up information on that, then you are looking up the Site-42 in North Carolina, headed by Dr. Desai, under the SCP author A Random Day. Kilber, thank you for donating again to say. So I found it, and I think I know what it is. I believe it to be the remains of a STCR replica. Now, how would we contain an Flicker, FLKR, if they follow it? Kilber, I do not know what either of those things are. So, what is a sticker, STCR, and a filker? Sticker and a flicker. Okay, from the series, or is it? From the series Signalis. I am unfamiliar with this at all. I've heard of it, but I do not know a single thing about its lore, so unfortunately I might not be much help for containment protocols. Bio-resonance command replicas, used in every Aeon facility across the using pivotal role in hierarchy of command, security chief and unquestionable figure of authority. Bend the will of weaker minds and fathom their intentions and emotions. Oh, geez. Telekinesis. This is a lot of information. But okay, we're dealing with telekinesis. So we just need to put it somewhere where there's nothing manipulatable that will allow it to free itself. The mind bending means we can only expose it to automatons of a low enough intelligence that they are automatic robots and not thinking automatons. So we can operate them from afar where we can't be affected by the psychic abilities of the entity. That's at least a starting line. Intern Belim, thank you for sending 6 100s and 41 chilies to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am certain that the chat will appreciate the amount of keeping it 100 you have urged them to do, as well as they will appreciate the copious amounts of baby back ribs that you have donated to them. Thank you for your generosity. Intern Corey and Liberd, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. A person, thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team, as well as chili and a silver star, and more sparkles. I am sure they will fabulously enjoy the award you gave them, as well as some more ribs. Thank you for your generosity. Cypher's Girl, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. And hey, it's been a minute. Hope you've been doing okay. Grab yourself, I guess, some ribs at the commissary. We got plenty. Hey, Dr. Sherman, how's your day? I'm currently sick with a cold, but I'm chilling in your walls, and I'm with 035Q. Direct me the nearest Wi-Fi cables. Get out of my walls! I just got everybody out of there for one night. And now we're doing it again. You're all ridiculous. Get out before I have facilities fumigate the wall space. Again. "369 Destroyer, I will tell you one more time. The other Site 42's director's name is spelled D-E-S-I-A. Desai. Intern Creature Freak, thank you for sending a flower to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they found it quite pretty. And now, Site 42 staff, we are currently at the end of stream. And as I do at the end of every stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. It's a tradition around these parts. But I wouldn't tell you that my favorite SCPs are the ones I personally wrote. That would be sheer narcissism. Cheating, even. I wouldn't do that to you. Nope. But if you do want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub on the SCP database. You can find a link to it in the Site 42 support beacon that is pinned in the chat and the description of this stream. So when you head to the Site 42 support beacon, beacons.aa/Site42, you will find our author page, as well as several links to our other social medias to follow us elsewhere for further updates. While you are on my author page, besides seeing the SCPs I personally wrote, you'll also see a list of links, including one link that a lot of people ask about, but then they never seem to find, which is very sad for their lack of determination. But not you guys, chat. My Containment Hazard Assessment team is determined. They will find that link. And when they do, they will have the opportunity to become patrons or YouTube channel members to donate to us monthly. They can do Ko-Fis or YouTube Super Chats to donate to us one at a time. Either way, your generosity to directly donate to Site 42 helps us keep the lights on the most, so we greatly appreciate and thank you for that. Meanwhile, if you are part of the Broke Gang and you cannot donate, do not fret. When big projects come up and I need your help, I need as many members of Mobile Task Force Site 42, codenamed the Signal Boosters, as I can get. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, when you algorithmically engage and help SCP projects, not just us and our videos and streams, but the SCP Kickstarters we support, the SCP Wiki's authors and artists, maybe they get a book deal, maybe we are signal boosting some animations, or some game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, podcasters, anything SCP, we are here to signal boost it, and we need you for that. So whether you are a direct donor or a Mobile Task Force Site 42 codename Signal Booster, we greatly appreciate your service to both Site 42 and the greater SCP community. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one. It's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031-5030-8980. Content warning on the last one. It's a rough read. Tara Gall, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a piece of angel food cake on your way past the commissary. I just sent someone into my office to get something, and now I hear screaming and crying, and he came out with a panicked face. He's panicked and can't form sentences. Do you know what's happening to him? Screaming and crying, panicked face, can't form sentences. Researcher Terragull, I'm sorry. I left a projectile cactus in your office as a prank. Just a friendly prank of a projectile cactus. If you look at the different extremities of said intern, you will find cactus needles. Just take that intern to medical, get him fixed up, it'll be fine. Intern Fan de PT and Obsidian Blade. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. And so, Site 42 staff, we have made it to the end of today's Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary on the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect, and I'll see you in the next video or stream. Spare a little candle, save some light for me. Figures up ahead, moving in the trees. White skin in linen, perfume on my wrist, and the full moon that hangs over these dreams in the mist. Darkness on the edge, shadows where I stand. I search for the time on a watch with no hands. I want to see you clearly, come closer than this. But all I remember are the dreams in the mist. These dreams go on when I close my eyes. Every second of the night, I live another life. These dreams that sleep when it's cold outside. Every moment I'm awake, the further I'm away. The credit song is These Dreams by Heart. Be safe, be well, Site 42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect.